when I first was watching it, I was like, how is this a romance? They hate each other. Um, did not foresee the whole adventure that was about to happen with them, but wow, what an adventure. It was so cool just seeing the progression of their relationship um, romantically, but also seeing them adapt to this island that they are very new to, very uncomfortable with, and just having to adapt and survive. And they were so creative. I thought they got very lucky that the plane that crashed was a cargo plane. So there happened to be a lot of tools and supplies and things that they used to help them get through. But just getting to see the kind of trials and tribulations, and then slowly seeing those little moments that are bringing them closer together, the beautiful wedding. Oh my goodness. And seeing them eventually thriving on the island, having a wonderful time, finally getting rescued and being like, I don't really want to leave. Like, this is paradise. Um, it was just so fantastic to watch. And it just made me think like humans have this amazing ability to make a house a home, to find, even in the jungle, even on a remote island.
I was totally engrossed in the story. The characters had a real arc, from tense, unhappy, and angry to chill and loving. Great performances, very believable, lots of chemistry between the leads. I'm a huge fan of the tropics, and this film did a beautiful job filming this gorgeous island with the bright blue water, lush trees, stunning sunsets, and a wide variety of tropical animals. Excellent props, cleverly used by the actors. I also enjoyed the humorous interactions between the characters. And the lovely soundtrack really added to the romance of the piece.
It falls perfectly into its genre, but does some things that I really like that are different than some other films that have some similarities to it. Most notably, Triangle of Sadness. It gives a lot of vibes of that, right? We have people of respectability kind of trapped together on an island. But what I liked here is that both members of the couple are quite competent. Not perfectly so as to completely dilute the conflict, but they can hold their own. And particularly the female character, right, is not kind of quintessentially weak and incapable, and the husband's not cliched imbecile. They both have their strengths and weaknesses that really complement each other. And I think that's ultimately what we see come through in how their relationship is mended through their time together, right? They are both able to bring qualities to the table that the other needs and make the necessary improvements to not only survive, but to find love again.
This story, it does work though, with Alice and her husband, Robert, going through a divorce, and then by the end, they've worked together and worked out their differences. It's a story that works time and time again. It's one that we see quite often on television, movies, and in theaters because of this. It works. To say the cinematography on this was beautiful. The filmmakers did a great job of remembering what it actually looks like or would look like if you crashed on a plane. Usually in movies, they forget the parts where you're bruised up, your clothes are torn, there's blood. And this movie remembered that they made them actually look like they were in an accident, which makes it stand apart from other movies where people crash and they look picture perfect. This one, they actually did make the characters look a little more rough and that they had to heal, and the healing of the wounds and bruises kind of shows you how long they've been on this island.
It was really nicely done. It was very believable too. The conflict was believable, the fight was believable, the resolution, them falling back in love was all very believable. And it was yeah, beautifully done. And everybody that was in this movie did a great job. The actors were all great, but of course, especially the two leads who are the film really. They do a great job. Their performances are very real, very and it's there's a heaviness of danger, the expectation of danger, but there's also a kind of lightness to them. Falling in love. There's a heaviness to their conflict, but then there's also moments of levity. It's just really well balanced and really nicely done.
I think it had some stunning cinematography. I mean, just the location alone of where they were filming was so incredibly beautiful with these spellbinding sunsets. It was just absolutely gorgeous. I think the filmmakers chose their cast really well. They were both very believable. I believed that they were married. I believed that they had been married for a really long time. They were both very genuine in all of their emotions and in the story itself. I really liked it. The story was there and it was really, really well told. There were some moments that were genuinely funny. And then there were other moments that were really, really heartwarming and very endearing.
I really enjoyed the music and the setting at the start of the film. It really sets the scene and creates this idyllic paradise, and then the characters and their conflicts right off the bat are really interesting to see that dynamic. I think it offers intrigue in an otherwise very pleasant and potentially boring setting. And I think the way the story unfolds is really interesting and enjoyable to see the progression between the characters' relationship and their dialogue and the dynamic. And I think the camera and the editing does a really great job of capturing sad and happy moments, even though the setting is more or less the same. So that's a really, really interesting approach.